Get those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Get those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started.
On Streamlabs. Blame it on Streamlabs, just like they banned people the other day. Blame it on Streamlabs, man. It's not me. It's not me who hops onto the stream and mutes myself. I don't change any settings. I come on here and it gets all jacked up, bro. It gets all jacked up. It's not me, man. I never have these issues. I am literally one of the greatest streamers that ever lived. You know what I'm saying? Where's Clint? You're not trolling today? No, we're here. We're here, guys. Anyways, we're going to talk about, can Bitcoin bounce from this level? Can Bitcoin go a little bit lower before it bounces? Or are we going to go down to the deep depths of the crypto abyss? I was talking about before I hopped on here and you guys, and I was muted, I was saying, I was watching Tino before, he was getting absolutely hyped on the open, and nothing happens. That's usually what happens on what I've noticed. But he gets me ready to go for the morning and gets me all jacked up to talk about some charts too. So let's go back over to, our regular scheduled programming here as we drink our coffee. Cheers to everyone in the morning. Sending good vibes there in the morning. It's a beautiful morning here. Not too humid out here over here in New York, and it's a good morning. It's a good morning to be over here, man. It's a good morning to be over here. I'm not still muted, man. I'm not still muted. Don't JW, don't get out of here, man. Anyways, what's Bitcoin doing on some of the shorter term time frames, guys? So we talked about yesterday, right? Bitcoin has come back down to that 0.618 Fibonacci. Can this be the point where Bitcoin gets the bounce off the 0.618, comes back up, takes some of these higher vector candles, like we talked about yesterday, and then maybe comes back down a little bit lower? Well, let's discuss. We haven't really gone anywhere since last night, right? We kind of just been holding this range, holding the 0.618 range at about 20,000. So it's a big psychological level, right? That 20K level. Market makers love to come back down to these psychological levels, and we sit right here where the 20K level also happens to be the 0.618 golden retracement level, right? Where usually when you see retracements, you see it back down to the 0.618. So here we are. We're sitting here. Can Bitcoin have the juice to come back up and take this 4-hour red vector candle all the way back up here, right? We don't have to take the whole thing, but at least come back up and rise. Now, yesterday, when I brought this up, I got a lot of, "Oh, Jordan, we can't go up from here. No, we're just going straight down to new lows." Okay, now let's see what happens. Maybe we do, maybe we don't, but I'm still sticking by the same thing I'm seeing here. I do think Bitcoin has a good chance to come back up, take this red vector candle here. Same thing with Ethereum, right? Ethereum come back up and take its red vector candle, and everything in between. Total market cap, everything in between. I still stand by that. Now, that was old. Jordan. Anyways, right here, guys. So the 4-hour time frame, I don't hate the 4-hour time frame, man. You got the 4-hour momentum wave coming back up to possibly flip back up to the upside. You got 4-hour stock RSI that was able to reset back down to the downside. So you got your momentum indicators wanting to point back to the upside. Why do I look so white? I look like I haven't been outside in like 3 years. Is it just me? Do I look super white today? I mean, I am Irish, but like, holy shit, man, I'm a little bit Italian too. Like, I gotta have a little bit of tan. What's going on with me? I don't know what's going on with me today. For 4-hour stocks bottomed out, 4-hour momentum wave bottomed out. Can we see this be the point where Bitcoin starts to rise, come back up to this range, take in this candle, and then we can kind of reassess from there depending on what the market looks like. I like to take it one move at a time and not try to predict like 3 moves in one sort of scenario. So that's what I'm seeing still in the 4-hour time frame, right? We were able to come back down. We took this yellow vector, we kept this yellow vector, bounce off the 618. Can we come back up and rise back up? Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. You look like you've been in Poland recently. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. It's actually nice weather over there in the summertime. They got a heat wave this summer, so everyone's tan over there right now. Some delicious, delicious coffee, by the way. Delicious, delicious coffee on this beautiful, beautiful, what is it, Wednesday? Sometimes I forget what day it is. Holy shit. It's Wednesday, man. Jordan likes to show off his real voice. Jordan! Anyways, let's jump back to the 15-minute time frame. So we go to the shorter term time frames. What are we doing here? Well, we're struggling with the 50 EMA, right? I mean, we're able to get that move down. We're trying to get a move back to the mean reversion, right? So we came up to the 50 EMA, rejection once, rejection twice, rejection 3 times. Can we have enough juice to be able to get back over this? If we can, I think that's going to be the point where we start to rise back up. We take a look at a couple of the shorter term time frame indicators. 15-minute stocks just crossed to the downside. 15-minute momentum wave just came back down to the downside. So do you see a little bit more continuation sideways here? Maybe, right? We don't want to see continuation sideways. We want to see a pump now, right? Right now. But the shorter term time frames like the 15-minute might show that, the 15-minute, the 1-hour time frame are showing a little bit of, how should I say this? a little bit of toppy action where you may just go sideways for a little bit longer. I mean, that sounds not that exciting, but can you just chop around here for the rest of the day before maybe moving back up, right? We're setting the 1 hour, we're setting the 15-minute, because the 1 hour is still a little bit toppy too. So you might need to reset a little bit, which doesn't necessarily mean a dump, but could just mean some sideways, choppy, wick action here for the rest of the day before then maybe getting that rise back up to the upside to take some of these vector candles on the 4 hour time frame, take some of these vector candles on the 1 hour time frame. Look at this juicy candle up here, man. It's absolutely juicy. It's juicy up here. The liquidity up here is juicy. So let's see. Now, here's the deal, guys. Let's do a quick scenario real quick. If Bitcoin cannot hold the 618 retracement level, which, right now the sentiment is pretty bearish, right? We got a bad CPI print yesterday, and which caused the market to dump. Is there going to be more continuation? Is this where the dust has settled? Have the market participants chose this level right here to be where Bitcoin's fair price should be at the moment? Or is yesterday's news still not priced in yet? Do we still have lower to go to price in yesterday's news? Well, if that's the case, the big level I'm watching, guys, is 19,500. You guys see the title of the stream. That's the level I don't want to see Bitcoin drop back below. I don't want to see Bitcoin drop back below 19,500, especially on a daily and even a weekly close. Okay. Now it could come back down there, right? We have the 786 Fibonacci popping in right there at 19,500, and we still have this 4 hour vector candle right here as well, which, if they want to come a little bit lower, I would not rule out the possibility of coming back down to 19,500. Okay, but that's the level. That's sort of the line in the sand that I do not want to see Bitcoin smash. I don't want to see Bitcoin smash that. I don't think anyone want to see Bitcoin smash 19,500, if you know what I mean. Buff Jordan pick. You want Buff Jordan pick? You don't need Buff Jordan pick. I'm right here, man. You see me? I got the cutoff tee today. You don't even need the Buff Jordan pick. I'm right here, man. Trust pump as much as trusting farts. Don't trust the pumps, man. Oh, man. There we go. I'm choking on coffee now. Sometimes that's what happened, guys. And I'm going to start burping now because okay. I know I used to crap on you guys for the creamer in the coffee. I put creamer on the coffee for my first coffee today. Now I'm drinking this one black. And when I start drinking black coffee, I start to get really burpy, man. The gas just starts building up. Up this way, maybe out the other way too. A little bit of both. But just be prepared for maybe a couple burp, maybe a couple Bob burps, man. Just be prepared. All right, so that's the case scenario, right? That's the case scenario. On the daily chart, when you really just zoom out on the daily chart, we're really just in the middle of nowhere, right? So, as much as we want to get pumped for the pumps, dump for the dumps, and we're sort of just back in one of these stupid ranges, right? Where, typically these ranges in this bear market have broke to the downside, but right now we are just in the middle of a range, right? We're sitting at 20K, just in a range between like 18,500 and 25K, right? We're sitting pretty much smack right in the middle, and especially this range here where you have the slight deviation to the upside, but most of the price action has been in between 18,500 and 21,500. So keep that in mind. Like we're sitting right here, right in the middle of the range. We have I think the good thing is, if you want to spin this from a bullish narrative, we at least did come back down, and now we have wiped out this yellow vector right here, which if this was the market makers just coming back down and taking this yellow vector, now you don't have to worry about it anymore, which is good. So now we have this red one here. Are they going to come back up and take this now? I told you guys, I think so. I don't think we're just going to dump straight down here. I do think we're going to get that slight move back up. Maybe not to the moon, okay? Probably not to the moon. But, a move up to like 21.6, somewhere in that range. 21.6 to about 21K would not surprise me before rolling right back over. So, still my thought process here. At the end of the day, we're sort of just sitting right in the middle of a range here. It's my trading edge. If you burp and fart at the same time, Bitcoin will bark. Okay, let's try to do it, man. There we go. Is Bitcoin going to bark back to the upside now? Let's see. Hopefully it works on stream today. That would be very, very nice. Very, very nice if you ask me. So that's the daily. You know, at the end of the day, it's a wait and see right now. It's a wait and see. And I'll continue to say this. I understand the macro is still bad, but nothing's really changed to me. I'm going to keep accumulating in this range, and if we drop lower, I'll keep accumulating there, because at the end of the day, I know what's coming either next year. I mean, I think the run's going to start next year. As soon as you know, what I was expecting yesterday was, you know, a little bit more of a positive news, but as soon as the positive news starts coming back out, you know, I think the market's going to rally hard, and just I want to be prepared for it. So my thinking has not changed. This is still, to me, still an accumulation range. You guys can do whatever you want to do. If you think 14K is coming, I don't blame you, right? I mean, this bear flag still did break to the downside. You still, you know, we were looking for a move back into it. You could argue this was just a back test of previous support turning into resistance before we now get that continuation back down, which the measure move is still down at 14K. So, you know, if you're waiting for 14K, I mean, it is what it is. I don't necessarily blame you for it, but my thinking still hasn't changed, right? My thinking still hasn't changed at this point. It's easy to get super bearish when we dump. It's very easy to do that, you know? It's very easy to do that. As soon as you get any bearish news, you start to move back down to support. It's very easy just to be like, holy shit, we're dumping. That's human nature, right? That's human nature. Whenever we come back down to support, you want to be bearish. Whenever we come back up to the highs, you want to be bullish. That's human nature, okay? I try to tell myself to flip my thinking, all right? When we come back down to support, I try to think myself, okay, this is where I start looking for longs. When we get back to the highs, okay, I think that's when we start looking for shorts or taking profits on the longs that you had, right? If you're not confident in the move back down, at least taking profits, all right? That's why we say don't be afraid to take profits in the bear market rallies until proven otherwise, all right? So we're just in the middle of a range right now. You know, it is what it is. We're patiently waiting and, you know, patiently waiting on to see which part of the range we can hit first, all right? Let's see. Crypto Shock said bottom is in. True. So, you know, if you're super bearish right now, I get it. I get the news. I get the narrative. But, you know, when you get the support, I try to flip my thinking. Right? Anyways, let's go back to the weekly. So, guys, we know a big move is coming on the weekly. A big move. And that means that a big move is coming for crypto. Like, we can get excited for these 1 hour time frame moves, the 4 hour time frame moves, the daily time frame moves. Okay? But what we should be excited for is a weekly time frame big move. Okay? And I don't say this lightly. A big move is coming. A big move is coming, whether it's to the downside or to the upside, which has to get you a little excited. Like, if you're a 14K moon boy, right, which is the opposite of the 100K moon boy in the bull market, if you're the 14K moon boy in the bear market, this has to get you a little excited. If you're under the assumption that you think the bottom is in, this has to get you a little excited. Why do I think a big move is coming? Well, we talked about that the BBWP on the weekly is bottomed out. After this move down to the downside, if we continue to stay in this range, you know, you're gonna see this continue to be bottomed out. And as soon as this gets this cross, you're gonna be expecting that big volatile move to happen. It's coming. It's coming within the next week or two. It's coming, man. Especially if we stay in this range. So be prepared for it. The direction this usually goes is usually whichever direction the market's going at the current time tends to be where the move happens to when this gets across. So let's see. Right now it's down. Yesterday it was up. You know, tomorrow it could be up again too. You never know. So let's wait on this, but a big move is coming, man. A big move is coming. And just to show you guys the last couple moves we've had on this when it's been bottomed out, right here on April 25th, we had the cross back to the upside. What did that result in? That resulted in about a 55% move to the downside, man. When you got that BBWP cross back to the upside. What was the time before that? Let's go back and look. When it was bottomed out. Right here, man. The last time before that was, look at these moves, man. I mean, these have been the monumental moves in crypto. Right here. October 26th of 2020. You got the BBWP cross right here on this candle right here. What did that result in? A 428% move to the upside. All right. You got the last one you had, it was right here. What did that result in? This one wasn't as big, but you still got about a 30% move to the upside. The time before that was right here, which resulted in a pretty good sized dump. I mean, you could count all the way down here if you wanted to, but I mean, a 30% move to the downside. So big moves usually happen when this gets bottomed out. We're waiting for the cross, but be prepared for volatility over the course of the next, probably the next 1 to 2 weeks when this does get across. So let's see, man. Big move. Where is it? Patience. It's on the weekly time frame. Have patience for this time to play out. And which direction does it tell us we're going to go? We don't know yet. Why? Because it depends on the direction when it crosses. Okay? And as we know with Bitcoin over the course of the last couple weeks, you can flip bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish on a flip of a dime. Right now, everyone's bearish. Listen, man. Right now, everyone is bearish. That can change tomorrow, as we know with crypto. Okay? You don't realize that now, but how many times have we seen that bullish, bearish flip in crypto? It's absolutely insane. So, once again, let's wait. Let's see what happens. As long as Bitcoin stays above 19,300 on the weekly, all is good in my world. If we break below 19,300 on a weekly close, doesn't look too great. Right? Definitely doesn't look too great. Let's go back to BTC. BTC just kind of chilling here in the range. Nothing really crazy going on here on Bitcoin this morning. It's pointing down today, but flips up around 22K. Facts. Nothing irritates me more than Savvy saying Moonboy. Oh. I mean, listen, you can be a Moonboy to the downside and a Moonboy to the upside. That's what cracks me up. It's like the bears love to call Moonboys when the market's going back up. But after the market's already dropped so much, they continue to be, I can call them Hellboys. We want to call them Hellboys? Sure. They continue to be Hellboys. You know, as low as the market goes, they're like the anti-Moon Boy. It's just the opposite, right? They love to call people Moon Boys, but, you know, when the market's flipped, you can't call them a Hellboy, you know? It's what it is. It's kind of hypocrisy in my opinion, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyways, let's jump back over to a couple of other things here. Let's go to Ethereum. What's Ethereum doing? Ethereum's doing the same thing. Right? Ethereum is doing the same damn thing. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame real quick. Where is Ethereum sitting? Look at the confluence on Ethereum, man. I'm hyped up today. Because I'm confident in what I'm seeing right now. Ethereum's doing the same thing. Now, this is a major point you want to see Ethereum hold. Okay? If we zoom out, Ethereum's got this trend line. Let's go to the daily time frame real quick. If we zoom out, look where Ethereum's sitting right now, guys. Oh, here come the burps. Holy moly, man. Here come the burps. Look where Ethereum's sitting. Okay? It's sitting right on this upward sloping trend line on the daily where we have 1 hit, we have 2 hits, we have 3 hits, we have 4 hits, we have 5 hits. Okay, I want it to be 6. 6 is a better number than 5 in my opinion, but you know, take it for what it is. We have not 6 yet, but 5 hits on this trend line. ETH has found itself holding support right at that trend line. Why is this also important? You want to look for confluence. When you hit a trend line, you want to look for confluence. Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame real quick, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. All right, in the 4-hour time frame, ignore all the lines and stuff here, but you know, this all goes together. What are we looking at this upward sloping trend line? Well, if we took our previous low to our previous high, okay, on our Fibonacci's, we also know that the 0.618 Fibonacci is also sitting right at this level as far as Ethereum goes. So you got 2 levels of confluence there as far as fib levels and upward sloping trend line, okay? Number three, you look left. This is also a point where Ethereum's bounced off of multiple times, right? Once, twice, all throughout this range, okay? You had a slight deviation to the downside here, but you came back up. This is also where ETH has held support once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So this is a big level of support for Ethereum. You want to see this hold, okay? And once again, this is the point where I see ETH bouncing from to at least get a short-term rally. Do I know if it's going to go to the moon? I don't think it's going to go to the moon, especially after yesterday's news. If yesterday's news was bullish, well, what the market considered as bullish, which you could argue, if, if it was actually bullish but bearish, but that's besides the point. If we got bullish news yesterday, okay, sure. The market took it as bearish news. At least they run back up to take this red vector right here, okay? Which then could make that M formation where, 1 hit, 2 hits, move back down. Okay, and then maybe you break that trend line. But that's too far down the road. Let's focus on the price action right now. I am expecting you to come take this 4-hour vector off this major support level. Okay, move back up, call me crazy. We'll see where we are. It is what it is, but that's what I'm seeing. If we do break this though, which, I don't see happening at the moment. Could happen, but I don't see happening at the moment. If we do break this right now, that's no bueno. That's no bueno. No bueno here in the short term for Ethereum, guys. So let's see. I do think this is going to end up holding. Whether Bitcoin comes back down to that 19.5 level, which even if it does, I still think ETH holds this support because that ETH has a little bit of a leeway now after bouncing a little bit. Even if Bitcoin goes to 19.5, I still see ETH holding this at about 15.50. All right, so pay attention to this. This is a big trend line for ETH. If that breaks, that breaks the whole structure of this bear market consolidation all the way from 800. Right, so pay attention. This is a big level for Ethereum, guys. I'm not saying that lightly. Okay, I'm not saying that lightly. It was bearish news. I mean, true, as seen by the market reacted to it. Looks dumpy if we hug that trend line for much longer and ETH merge today. Yeah, sure. We'll see if it holds. I think it holds temporarily. Does it hold for a move back up in this region? It's a little bit skeptical in my opinion, but at least temporarily, I can see this holding. At least temporarily. ETH sucks. I'm going all in on ADA. Stumbledore.
Rant alert.
ETH sucks my ass. It sounds so wrong. ETH does not suck my ass. Okay. You gotta say that's sus. Here we go with the sus. ETH does not suck. Okay. You're going all in on ADA. I mean, dude, listen. I own ADA and ETH. It is what it is. You can like both. Why do we have to say one thing sucks? The only coin that sucks in this space is Litecoin. Okay? And you could argue XRP too, but that's besides the point. XRP and Litecoin suck. Anything else is fair game, Take it from me. Take it from me, man. Take it from me. All right, we're trying to keep it PG here, man. There's some kids that listen. I try to keep it PG. Unfortunately, sometimes it slips. I'm sorry for everyone who has kids that are watching. If you have kids that watch my stream, well, you should probably think about your parenthood a little bit. But that's okay. It's okay. Show us on the doll where Litecoin hurt you. You don't want to go there. All right. Anyways, go back to Ethereum on the weekly. Still below the bear market resistance band. This has been the point where Ethereum got a rejection on the bear market resistance band here. Rejection on the bear market resistance band here. This is Ethereum's biggest resistance. Like, this is going to be tough to Ethereum to break here, guys. So, once again, short-term move up. I think is in my opinion, a short-term move up is likely. Don't take it from me. You guys do your own research on that. Long-term, medium-term move up. After yesterday, let's see. I'm not going to rule it out. I think yesterday was a little bit of overreaction, in my opinion. A little bit of overreaction from the markets. It wasn't great, but, let's let this unfold. I do think this is going to be a tough cookie to crack in the short term here. And, yeah, man. I mean, we've talked about this is Ethereum's biggest resistance point. For Ethereum to break this right now is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Let's go back to BTC though. 20,310. What are we looking at here? Well, looks like this keeps getting bought up. So it looks like they try to keep pushing it back down, but this keeps getting bought up. Is this going to be the point where Bitcoin starts to get that move back up to take some of these higher levels up here? I told you guys I do think so in the short term. I need Buff Jordan at the gym threatening me this morning. I don't want to wait till tonight. Well, you know what? You know what, Franco? You know what, Franco? I'm gonna come at you, bro. I'm gonna come at you. All right, let me ask you guys this. Who has, during this move back down right here, who has bought some Bitcoin or altcoins while Bitcoin was in this range right here? Who has? And if you didn't, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you, man. You do you. I understand everyone has different life circumstances and different targets and things like that. Who has scooped up some BTC, not even just BTC, but altcoins as well, in, I would say, this range? Who has? Okay, really anywhere when Bitcoin was below 20,500. Who has done it? If you haven't, I'm not going to judge you, man. I get it. Times are tough out there. He's going to come at you like Spider Monkey? Spider Monkey? I will come at you like Spider Monkey, man. I will. All right, so that's, I want to see what you guys say. Not me. I went neck deep under 18K. Neck deep? That's deep, man. Neck deep? Man, so you still got a little bit of head left. A little bit of head left on there. Still thinking about it? Still adding? Call me the ice cream man. All I've been doing is scoop. Call me the ice cream man. Oh, man. Right now, guys, it's that time in the crypto market where it's just like, you're at that awkward point where, to me, you're either, if you look back to, say, 2018, to me right now in the crypto market, you're either here or you're here, in my opinion. And it's a matter of perspective, right? Are you here or are you here? It's a matter of perspective. Do we have that one last rally to the downside that brings you down to the low teens, or are you already at the bottom? And this is kind of the struggle that I think everyone's kind of waiting for right now. Is, are you here or are you here? And I'll continue to say, like, either way, I'm excited for the future, because either way I know, and this is my opinion, either way I know whether we're here or we're here. In my opinion, 12 months from now, I expect Bitcoin to be higher than the price is right now. Okay? So it is what it is. Like, keep dry powder on the sidelines. I am, right? I mean, every day I'm just adding to a stack that I am keeping for the sidelines in case that we go lower. Every day. And at the same time, picking up some solid alts at the same time that I like in this range. But either way, just like in 2018, this range right here will be, if you get any crypto really in this range, you're going to be freaking happy for a long time. All right. And I'm staying in that circumstance. And I do think, even when you zoom out, even if you think this market's going to be like how it was in 2014 and 2018, it's going to be the same point, in my opinion. Anywhere in this range, in my opinion, is going to be the golden buy opportunity. Okay? And I do think we're in there. Whether we go another, we could still, based on this, we could still drop another 44% to the downside. Anywhere in this range, I'm going to be happy. Okay? And that's my thesis going forward. It's like, I'm not trying to time a bottom. I'm just trying to scoop up BTC in what I consider a value range. And this is what I consider a value range. If we go to 14K, if we go to freaking 10K, which all the bears are calling for now, it's fine. It's fine. Keep your eye on the prize, because what used to be 6K before Bitcoin dropped to 3K, would you be mad at buying Bitcoin at 6K last year? No. Would you be mad at buying Ethereum for the same point? Let's go back to see where Ethereum was at that point. Let's go all the way back in time here. Would you be mad at buying Ethereum? Where was ETH at that same point? Right here in October 18. Would you be mad at buying Ethereum at $200? No. You would still be happy buying Ethereum at $200, and you wish you could go back to those times. I do. I would die for some $200 Ethereum right now. Okay? So, still my same thought process. Keep your eye on the prize, man. I know we get so caught up in the short-term price action and the macro, which the macro sucks right now. Like, we could still drop significantly lower. All right? It's still a possibility, but it's about the long-term prize. So, It's my little rant for today. My little rant for this morning, man. My little rant for this morning. Just look at it from a risk versus reward. I'm not in the market to time the bottom. This is a value range to me. Anywhere between 20K and wherever the bottom is a value range to me. Okay? Keep the eye on the prize. And the same thing goes for altcoins, man. Altcoins a little bit more risky. You have to have a little bit more of a gut to hold the dips on altcoins because they can drop a lot faster than BTC. But if you have the gut to hold the altcoins and you're buying at good levels, you're not FOMOing in the tops, and you're buying at good levels, you're going to be happy at the outcome. So it's about a patience game at this point, man. It is. And this is one of those boring times in crypto where it's like, it's just boring, right? It's super, super boring. But you got to get through those times. The boring times usually lead to the exciting times. So we know, a big move's coming. It's a matter of which way. I think ETH gives us better price in the next week. Oh, I think you'll see a better price for Ethereum at some point too. ETH is going to have a tough time cracking the bear market resistance band, man. It's delicious. $800 ETH. $800 ETH. $800 ETH would be cool too. I'll take that. I would rather have a $200 ETH, if I'm gonna be quite fair, dude. If ETH went to $200, I said the same thing. If ETH went back to $1,000, I was gonna buy a lot, which I did at the time. You know what I mean? It was the same point where Bitcoin was at the 200-week moving average, where I think ETH was around that 1K price, right? Anyways, that's besides the point. Let's go back. Let's go look at the stock market. So the stock market dumped hard today. Is the stock market going to come back up and take these vector candles too? Like, the stock market has liquidity to come up here and take, guys, right? Spanning all the way back up here. The stock market has 1, 2, 3 vector candles spanning all the way back up here on the hourly, and on the 4-hour time frame has this massive one, and these massive 2 vector candles spanning all the way back up here. Just like BTC, it could go a little bit lower here because it's not really at the level I was looking at. The level I was looking at was a little bit lower at about 3,900. So, whether it comes back down to this range first or it just continues to hold this current range here, at one of these two levels, I do think it's likely that you get a short-term rally to come back up and take this liquidity before, like we said, before maybe coming back down to the downside here. So, once again, I'm looking for these to get taken, whether it's from this level here or my ultimate target, which was down here in the first place. Well, it remains to be seen, but I do think a move up in this from this box here. It's a big box, but it is what it is. Makes sense. Makes sense here in the short term. Daily time frame. That was a ugly daily candle yesterday for the stock markets. That was just a brutal candle. it's one of the biggest dumps we've seen in a long time on the stock market. So once again, it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see scenario, man. But I do think it's likely that you come back up and take this before maybe then rolling over, which I know rolling over is not fun. You don't want to roll over. You want to roll up. You want to roll up like Jabba in his Lambo. But let's go, man. It's all about the patience. Is that double board Franco? Let's see. Get what you can in the next 6 weeks. Markets usually rally because of midterms. That is facts too. That's something we haven't even talked about, right? It's it's a crazy time that we're in. Everything is kind of flowing in a weird way, right? You got the midterms coming up, okay, in November, I believe. You also got what typically Bitcoin bottoms a year after the highs, which would also be in November. Okay, you got these two things coming in at the exact same times. It's very interesting. Very interesting. What do you guys think? You guys think we're gonna rally at the midterms? What do you guys think in November? That's typically when Bitcoin hits bottoms. Okay, so could you see something where Bitcoin does what it normally does, hits the lows in November, somewhere down here, and then you get the midterms, and then you start to rally back to the upside? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? It's very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. We can't talk about the midterms. Pre-election dump, then pump. Could be. I mean, that's what's typically happened in the past. You know? Well, not necessarily the midterms, but it's typically what happened in Bitcoin bear markets. No politics, facts, facts, facts. I'm talking strictly for Bitcoin. Strictly for Bitcoin, man. Strictly for Bitcoin. We are effed. Bottom in October, said Teju. I'm excited for November because no more Pelosi. Okay. None of that. Keep it strictly Bitcoin, guys. All right. So the other thing that has me feeling okay, and this is speculation too. We've talked about the Euro USD. Euro USD is at that one level, psychological level. Like it's so psychological. You don't want to break that one level. It's even, it's parity. You know, market makers love to stick at these psychological levels. And the reason why I bring that up consistently is if Euro USD can hold the one, okay, and at least start to build a base, as George would say, at one, you would expect the DXY to start at least tapering, at least holding the highs. Maybe not mooning anymore, but at least going sideways, which, you know, it could be the mark of the bottom where Bitcoin goes sideways for an extended period of time. But it is at that one level. And we've talked about how there's so much confluence here for Euro USD. And the reason why I bring this up is we want this to bottom out so the DXY can top out. Okay, I know the Euro's not everything, but it's a big proponent of that. Usually when the Euro is going down, DXY is going up and vice versa. So right here, this right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're coming back down to that range, which also happens to be that one psychological level. So if Euro can hold this level right here, this red box right here, that could be the point where Euro starts to at least build a base. Maybe it doesn't pump, but at least builds a base down here and stops the DXY from freaking going to the moon. Hypothetical, but you know, something I am looking at. I like to look at charts, and the charts usually tell you what's going to happen before it does. Usually, not always. As we said yesterday, that can kind of change, right? So keep an eye on that. What I'd wait for is a break of this trend, right? You see this weekly trend on Euro USD? You see this? So right, you got that one support, and you got Euro USD, this trend line coming from February. We get back above this, could be a good sign. Could be a good sign for the DXY, at least tapering off and at least going sideways. Maybe not dumping, but at least, you know, doing something like this. Before then going up maybe in 2023. Okay, so keep an eye on that. Very, very important chart to look at, in my opinion. Very, very important chart. So 20,155. BTC still chilling like a villain here. Let's see. Crane said, my issue with the current bottom is it was too easy for the macro. Every time we go down and bounce, bull scream bottom, everything is all good. Bull market is back. That's not how recessions work. Yes, I would argue every time we dump, the bears are much louder. Much louder. Calling for every time we dump, it's 14K. You could argue that everyone's just super emotional, right? Every time we dump, it's 14K. Every time we pump, it's 30K. Vice versa. You could just argue the market's very, very emotional right now, right? It's both sides. And I would argue that more people are still waiting for lower and not. So here's the deal. I think with the current macro conditions, most people aren't accumulating in this range. In my opinion, most people are waiting for lower, considering the macro economic situation. And if the macroeconomic situation was different and Bitcoin was in the same point, I think people would be screaming for. I think most people would be screaming for a bottom if the macro wasn't crazy right now. So, like if people were looking at the charts, looking at the indicators that have flashed, right? Hash ribbons buy signal, pi cycle bottom of the logarithmic regression band. If the macro wasn't different, people would be screaming that the bottom is in, right? We were below the 200-week SMA and everything in between. I think everyone in the mother would be screaming for a bottom, but because the macro looks like shit, it's different. And I get that. I'm just a big proponent of looking at the charts and letting the charts speak for themselves. If it doesn't play out that way, well, you move on to the next one. But yeah, man, we're in an interesting time right now. Very interesting time, man. Very, very, very interesting time here in in all of crypto, man. Psychology of the market, yeah. Emotional damage, facts. I can't wait to buy with my paycheck tomorrow and watch the price dump. Hey, man, it actually, that, I would say, what I've noticed is don't buy when Saylor announces he's going to buy soon. That's been the move. Whenever Saylor says he's going to buy, or he did buy, hold off. That's been the move ever since he started becoming an absolute freaking mega whale, right? Don't buy when Saylor says he's going to buy. If Saylor's been quiet for a little bit, that's when you go for it, man. Saylor's like the ultimate take profit signal, or the ultimate hold off on DCA signal, man. Saylor's either the worst trader possible. I mean, he just doesn't care about the short term price. But anyways, that is that. What is it? 10:30. 10:30. A couple altcoins, guys. I mean, you've seen some altcoins go up. Chainlink. I mean, a couple altcoins are just coming up and take their vector candles, right? So Chainlink had this vector candle. It moved back to the upside. I still think Chainlink has some more upside to go. I see Chainlink probably coming back up and testing this range here, which you had this little inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? Where you had this right here, right? You had this left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You got this big vector candle. You're getting that move back up. Would not count out you just coming back up, testing the neckline of this before getting a rejection. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Chainlink move up to like 765 or so over the course of time. You're getting a little rejection off the 200 EMA. It's to be expected there. What else do we got? Anything else really moving? ADA's moving up a little bit. I would say be careful on ADA here. It did break from this channel, right? We were talking about, right? That, someone said, Jordan, that's not a channel. Jordan, that's not a channel. Listen, here's the thing on ADA. Same type of deal we're talking about with ETH and BTC, right? Take the low to the highs. You bounce it right off that 618 fib, right off the previous low. So it was likely you're going to bounce there. You did. But be careful at this current range. Why? Look where you're at. Previous support turning into resistance. And you also got all your EMAs coming in right here on the wick. Okay, which it looks like you... Whoa! Looks like you just wicked to those moving averages. And you're getting a rejection there. So be careful on this point right here on ADA. If you're like, oh, nice, ADA's up 4% today. Nice. But it could just be a back test of support. All right, so be careful right there for ADA. Me too, Wayne. Sell pumped. Let's check out Sell. Celsius. Yeah, Sell got a little pump. Sell got a little pumpy pump. Why did I have that? Oh, I had that. So actually, Celsius, look at this perp, guys. This is why sometimes you got to pay attention to this stuff. So we had this trend line drawn here for Celsius. Why? We said it was most likely going to come up and take these 4-hour vector candles up here. What did it do? Look at this, man. You can't make this stuff up. Look at the top of this vector candle right here. Boom. Boom, man. You would have said, why the hell would it top out right there? Well, that was where the liquidity was. You see this? Boom. Right to the top of it. Wicked. Literally right to the top of it, man. You can't make this stuff up. Instant rejection. Boom, right back down to the downside. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now what do? Well, you saw the move play out. To me, this one just looks like the classic, this one just looks like the classic wedgie to me, man. Classic rising wedge. Can it break out to the upside? Sure. If Bitcoin wants to show strength, sure. But take it for what it is. To me, this looks like a classic wedgie. Classic little wedgie that break down to the downside 68% of the time. Got to play the percentages on that one. It is what it is. It is what it is. But nice move there. That was a nice move. Of about, 45% move to the upside. That's no joke. That is no joke. Not manipulated at all. Yeah, it is what it is. Have a look at Solana. Let's do it, man. Solana. Still just chilling. The thing about Solana that was different than the other alts is it broke at the 618 retracement. But it is holding the previous highs. So we looked left and we said, okay, let's go to the daily time frame. We looked left on Solana and we said, okay, this has been a point where Solana's got to bounce before. Okay, it bounced right here, it bounced right here, and it had resistance right here too. So we said, okay, this is probably going to be a support level for the short term. So far it's held up. Solana looks a little iffy to me just because it smacked that 0.618 Fibby, right? Where the other alts have not. But once again, you got to take that with a grain of salt because why? This dump's so hard. I just don't see the market makers just leaving these shorts just being like, I'm in a comfy short and I'm just going to sit here while we go all the way back down to 14K. No, that's too easy, man. That's too easy to me, right? Flip the psychology. Makes way more sense for them to come back up, take this liquidity right here, which probably would just be a retest of previous support, probably get rejected on this trend line, and then come right back down. That's the most logical scenario there. They're not just going to let these shorts just go, what a beautiful day. No, they're not going to do that. Flip the psychology. It's easier just to say it's going to dump straight down to the downside, which, maybe it does. It is what it is. Play the percentages. Percentages tell me it's probably going to come back up and then come back down. All right? At least for the short term. All right? And we'll reassess. We'll reassess. I mean, you got to be able to flip. You got to be able to flip. Did you finally buy near? I told you guys. I'm waiting for I do like where near is. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to buy near today. I'm going to buy near today because I've been telling you guys consistently, like, dude, I'm going to buy near. I'm going to buy it today. It's actually, as soon as I get off, I'm going to buy some near. We got a deal? Because I actually like where it is, at least for a short-term move. Previous highs coming in as flipping as support, and this is probably the 618 retracement. Let's take the swing low to swing high. This one is... so this one actually already broke the 618, but that's okay. That's okay. It's still, so I don't have the 0.65, but the golden pocket's the 0.618, 0.65. It's sitting right in the golden pocket zone. So this is actually a good area for me, especially the 4 hour looking good. 4 hour stocks bottomed out, 4 hour momentum wave coming up. I like near here for at least a short term play. Just like I kind of like everything else for a short term play for a move back up to take this red vector here. I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to buy some right now. Literally right when I get off, because I like it. I like this. I like this point. Maybe not for like a freaking long-term hold, but I like this point for a at least a swing move to the upside. You got to get off first. True. Very, very true. Right, but I like where near is. I told you guys this yesterday. I like where near is. Inverse head and shoulders back test. Now you want to see the continuation. And yeah, we need to see Bitcoin, and this is what we talk about, Bitcoin just holding the range. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin just goes sideways for most of the day today. Stays in this range, and eventually it's like, okay, you got the 50 EMA coming down. Eventually it's going to have to choose. Eventually Bitcoin's going to have to choose between, breaking 20K or breaking the 50 EMA. Because the 50 EMA is going to slowly start to come down like this. Slowly. It's going to get trapped in between these two levels, and it's going to have to choose. And that's where I think it gets a move to the upside. All right? But I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin go sideways for most of the day today after a pretty volatile day yesterday. Time will tell. All right? So I'm going to head out on this beautiful, what about ADA? Oh, we looked at ADA already. ADA's having a good day. Just be careful where ADA is. It is right at resistance too, right? Right at the EMAs, right at the bottom side of resistance. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna call it a stream. I'll catch you guys at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not Central Standard Time, not Pacific Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. Catch you guys later. All right, have a fantastic day. Don't do anything I'm gonna do. Don't panic sell your crypto. Most of all, don't panic sell your crypto, but don't be afraid to take profits on the bear market rallies. I'm gonna go pick up some near because I can and I want to, because I want to be part of the near guys, because I keep saying I'm gonna do it and I don't. So, adios, my friends. No longer bottom dweller. All right? Peace. Have a fantastic day, guys.